2 years ago tonight, tragedy struck a community when a shooter entered Club Q in Colorado Springs and opened fire. 5 people were murdered, many more hurt. Tonight, your reporter, Alan Janae, is in Colorado Springs, where there is a gathering at the new club after a vigil at the site of the shooting where a memorial is in the works.
2 years later, this is called the Q, a successor to Club Q, which has been closed since that terrible night when 5 were killed and 9 injured. Behind me, what's going on is called a night of resilience and strength, a community gathering. Because even though the shooting is now 2 years in the past, there are still worries about the future. It was a frigid night outside the old Club Q where the wind went through the crowd that shivered from the cold and the memories.
I just pray that this world will be a better place for all of us. We don't have to worry about being who we are.
It was a struggle to keep the candles lit, but not hard to remember what they'd lost.
Daniel loved Club Q.
The mother and father of victim Daniel Aston are trapped in a never-ending nightmare.
I'll never look at a sunset the same way. I'll never be able to enjoy the mountains as much. You know, there's just a tinge of sadness to everything that we do.
2 years later, shooting victim Ed Sanders has trouble walking and forgetting.
I turned around and looked at him, and all I could see was the flash of the bullets.
Now he has grown weary of some of what he hears.
I'm tired of listening to anti-Club Q rhetoric, and I'm not going to take it anymore from people in our own community tearing us down.
At the new club, co-founder Michael Anderson, who was the only bartender to survive that night, says he hasn't taken time away to recover, but he believes the bar is a mission.
Where people could come and know they were safe to be their authentic selves, to live their life, to find respect and acceptance amongst like-minded peers, and that's what it stood for.
He worries about bigotry getting worse.
People who are already vulnerable are becoming more vulnerable, and I think that's a massive concern.
But outside the old bar in the cold, people shared grief and a goal.
If people would just take the time to get to know somebody that's a little different from you, there would be a lot less hate and misunderstanding in the world. And things like this wouldn't happen as much.
This club has now been open for almost 6 months now. Meantime, at the former Club Q, where the memorial rises, it's still not complete, with a call put out to artists to talk with the families and somehow create each pillar in memory of the 5 who lost their lives. In Colorado Springs, I'm Alan Janae, covering Colorado First.
And also tonight, Club Q survivors and victims' family members are calling the shooting a preventable tragedy.
They filed 2 new lawsuits today. One lawsuit says the club owners didn't do enough to keep that venue safe. Another says El Paso County Sheriff Bill Elder didn't do enough to enforce the state's red flag laws despite warnings. Any monetary damages will be determined at trial.